For those of you who saw the video I did on the 60s last week, I'm getting ready to go into part 2. The good thing about the 60s video, I had over 10,000 hits. That was surprising. And now I've got people saying, do another video, Jiffy. So today, I'm going to go into part 2. And I'm going to talk about how the growing season came together. Right here, where I live. Hello! Welcome to my house. This is where I live. This is where I do my writing, my creativity. Let me introduce you to my wife, Linda. Come out and say hello to the people.
Hello, how are y'all?
Thank you, baby. We've been married 41 years this coming December. How she has stayed with me that long, I do not know. Listen, let's go up on the deck and look back towards Floyd County, and I'll talk about my creativity, my writing. Come on up. We're looking back at Floyd County. If you know, Ray's Restaurant's in the growing season, and that's Floyd County. I don't think you see it today, but there's a tower on the far horizon. That's about 100 yards this side of the Blue Ridge Parkway. So I have a beautiful view, and quite honestly, it's inspiring to write. I spend a lot of time out here. Come on around. This is where I spend a lot of time, especially early in the morning. I'm a very early riser. I'll get up and get my coffee and come out and I'll sit here on the deck. Several mornings when I was writing the growing season, I'd be sitting out of here and the moon would be up and the sky would be brilliant. And off in the distance I could hear a big horn down and hear the roar of a diesel engine coming up Christiansburg Mountain. It'd be the train coming up. And I'm sitting here thinking, trying to figure out where's this growing season going? And all of a sudden, I had a whisper in my ear. And it was Piper Gordon. And she told me right there and then, and don't freak out, all the authors that seen this will relate to what I'm saying, because where do your characters come from? It comes from deep within yourself. And she whispered in my ear, she says, I'm Piper, and I'm going to be the female that you're liking in the growing season. I said, oh, okay, all right. Then she leans back over and says, by the way, I'm Afro-American. I go, Piper, yeah, I'm talking to you just like I'll be talking to her. I said, you know, Zach is white. And you're in for a lot of heartache. Back in '64, back in these Blue Ridge Mountains, sugar, that just didn't happen. Martin Luther King was still marching. And quite honestly, deep south from here, the KKK was still lynching black folk. And I said, Piper, do you want to go through this? And she said, you don't have a book without me. And she was right. Well, Piper shows up in the, my book is each month is a chapter, and she's in August. When I began to write about her and Zach's love affair, that first love experience, I could not lay down at night and go to bed without thinking about her. I could not get up without thinking about her. I get in the middle of the night thinking about her. So I got concerned about that because quite honestly, I got jealous of Zach because I fell in love with Piper too as an author. And I was telling, it worried me so bad thinking about her, and she was always on my mind. I said, I called Sally, who was my editor at the time, and I said, Sally, I'm in trouble here, and I'm a little bit concerned about myself. And she sort of laughed. She said, what's the matter, Jiffy? I said, this character, Piper, a beautiful, beautiful Afro-American girl, and her inner beauty is as beautiful as her outer beauty. I said, she is really haunting me. I can't sleep at night thinking about her. I said, am I normal? And she laughed a little bit. She said, Jiffy, I have worked for authors that get up in the middle of the night praying for their characters. I said, really? She said, I work for authors that even get up and fight with their characters. You're normal. You're a creative writer. Well, her answers made me feel better, but I'm still concerned about myself, because this is my first book and my first experience being a creative writer and dealing with characters. And a friend of mine, Jim, is a prolific reader. He's a psychologist, and I went to him and I said, Jim, I'm having an affair with a 17-year-old Afro-American girl. Of course, he looks at me right funny. And I said, well, Jim, let me explain. I said, if she was real, I could understand an old man lusting after a young girl. I said, but it's deeper than a physical relationship. This character's got a real hold on me. I said, am I normal? He looked at me, being a psychologist. He said, look, Jiffy, first of all, no, you're not normal. I said, Jim. He said, no, you're a creative writer. All of you're nuts, or you wouldn't be a creative writer. But anyway, I finally got past that, because when I was writing the chapter in August, I wrote and rewrote that particular chapter 3 different times. The last rewrite was 90 pages long. So I had to cut it up, go from the school year into the summer of '64, and I named it The Magical Summer of '64. We all can remember that first love experience, and it seems like, and here is an interracial couple in the '60s, and it's their first love experience. Now, it's bad enough, we who grew up with that experience, it seems that first love experience seems to be the most painful. So, I went back into myself, which wasn't very pleasant, and I dug those memories up. And that's how Zach and Piper come to be. I'm working on the second book after the harvest now. Now, I'm not an expert by no means, but I've come to the conclusion, and I better stop here too, because I deal with Hollins College here in South Virginia. They have a great writing program, and they have sent people my way, graduate students, to give me a helping hand. And they're really helped me along for writing the first book. The reason I brought Hollins College up, because they got one of the best writing programs there is in Southwest Virginia, and they've been so good to me. They sent me graduate students to help me, got me started, taught me how to storyboard. Being my first book, and I almost got the second one done after the harvest, we'll pick up where the growing season leaves off. Not being an expert, but I've come to the conclusion, creative writing can't be taught. Now, let me clarify that statement to all you authors and wannabe authors. Yes, you can go to a nice school like Hollins, and they'll teach you how to construct a paragraph, or how to do character, gathering all the dialogue, character development, I was trying to say. They'll do all that for you, but there's one thing they can't teach you. It's heart. They can teach you to cross your T's and dot your I's. They can teach you all the proper English and all that, but they cannot teach you heart. And I've come to the conclusion, if you're going to be a creative writer, especially in romantic novels, if you cannot get your reader to feel that emotion that you've put into that character, if they can't feel the pain that you've come out of yourself to put into those characters, then you need to go into journalism. Here's why I say that. Remember the difference between a creative writer and a journalist. A creative writer feels the pain. A journalist goes looking for the pain. That's a distinct difference. So my advice, and what little I know about it, if you can't go in your writing whole heart, your heart and soul in it, it's just like, let me give you an example on 2 great guitar players. If you know who Joe Bonamassa is and Johnny Lang, 2 prodigy guitar players, okay? Bonamassa is a techno guitar player. He can copy or play anything. Johnny Lang has heart in his music. He feels every strum of that guitar. Watch their presentations. When Johnny Lang gets into his music he writes, he throws that head back into his whole soul and heart in every strum of that guitar. And they're both great guitar players. So what I'm telling you on wannabe writers, even writers right now in college that wants to be one, what I know about it, being in it this short a time, get your heart in it. Get your soul in your writing. Make your reader believe every word that you speak for that character. Get wholeheartedly into it. And that's all thing I can tell you. I believe that's something they cannot teach you in any school. You need to have that soul and heart. Tell you what, I've probably talked too long up here, but I hope you enjoyed what I've said. And remember, I'm new to this, and you're going to take my advice with a grain of salt. And I'm sure there's going to be some college professors that teach us writing may dispute what I just told you, but maybe not. Because anything you do in life, if you're not committed to it, you're wasting your time. I hope you enjoyed part 2. Part 3 is coming up. Next time we're going to go into my study and sit in front of my computer, and I'm going to show you the technology that I use to do my writing. Everyone really liked the videos I've done so far, so we're going to try to continue to shoot some, and till you people get tired of watching me. Part 3 is coming up.